Atelier Yumia on the PC. This is a free demo that I obtained from Steam. I tried to run this game in 4K, and apparently the resolution isn't cooperating. I can go pretty low. I can go down to 940 or 540 widescreen. We're not going to do that here. Frame rate goes up pretty high. I mean, this screen that I'm playing on is an OLED that goes up to 120. Right now, it's not set to 120. I'll worry about that later. I'll do a separate video where I try to play at 120 another time. But for this video, this is a frame rate test for this Nvidia Geforce 3050 with 6 gigabytes of RAM, so it's basically a 3040. But this game was running well over 60 frames a second last time I did a quick check. I will turn everything off, and then as we go, we'll start cranking up the settings to see how good this game can look. I'm currently recording at 19 at full HD, it's 1080p. At 60, so this will be one of the higher quality videos you'll be seeing on this channel. I don't have 4K capture yet. I'm trying to work it out. If I make it work, you'll be getting some 4K Skyrim sooner rather than later. For now, I couldn't record this using Steam. Steam's internal recorder is not cooperating. I'm gonna turn on the dynamic resolution to see if we can keep the frame rate at 60. I'm not gonna complain about that. I think we'll be fine. There's Intel XeSS super sampling, which would be fine for, say, my 8-core laptop that I have in the other room, which I don't think plays this game. It only had 8 gigabytes of RAM, so it pitched to fit. But it runs just runs just fine on this thing. But we don't have the super sampling using Nvidia super sampling, which is what I would want, the DLSS. So we'll play as is with dynamic resolution scaling up to 1980. If I can get a 4K video, I'll add one later. This is mainly just it's not even a stress test. It's just to see if this free demo will run on low spec hardware, and it does. Well, at least on low spec desktop hardware. I'll test it out on my Radeon 550 in the other room another time. Where did I leave off? Well, okay, so we'll go to the autosave. We're just gonna restart from the beginning-ish anyway. For people who can't keep track of the Atelier games, don't worry about it. I can't either. I played Atelier Aisha on the PlayStation 3 like decades ago, like about a decade ago. I did DVD quality recordings of that. I think I played Atelier Sophia as well. I have a couple of Atelier games lying around here. I think I have Rorona. But the one everyone knows is Atelier Ryza because it has 3 games and it's provocative, I'll put it that way. But we're not going to be playing that game here. Options. I want to say Atelier Ryza is actually being delisted in a couple of months. By the end of the year, I think Koei Tecmo is gonna get rid of the Steam version, which is don't worry, I'm sure pirates and mods will take care of the rest. This is a turn-based. I believe this is supposed to be a turn-based RPG like the other Atelier games are. It's supposed to be some kind of crafting game. One of these days, I'm gonna be able to separate these games from each other because right now I just can't. I mean, isn't Atelier Mana one of the games in these series back on the PlayStation 2? It's probably good, but I don't know because I've never actually sat down and played them. And it's November, so I usually play cozy games, and apparently the Atelier games are pretty cozy, I've been told. I've played maybe 7 or 8 hours of Atelier games, and I can barely even tell them apart. So one of these days, I'll figure it out. But for now, we're here to play some demos and kind of test what this desktop can really do. But right now, I know I've gotten like 4K in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, 4K in Skyrim. I should be getting 4K. I think I got 1440p with 60 frames a second with Agents of Mayhem, and I got 4K with Just Cause 2 with the DRM free version that I got from GOG.com, and I got 4K in one other game I'm forgetting. I'm supposed to be getting 4K with Slime Rancher, which is also DRM free. I'll take a look at that later. Oh, there's an Epic Game Store game I'm supposed to download. What's it called? Scourgebringer. It's supposed to be free on November 13th, 2025. So I'll see if I can get my hands on that one. The Steam version of that is DRM free, I doubt the Epic Game Store version will be. But if it's good, I'll buy it anyway, so I'll be fine. I like buying good games that are DRM free. And I can initiate combat with this. And apparently break boxes, wall jumping. Oh, we can do a double jump? No, we can do a double wall jump. Okay. That's cool. She's way more nimble than Ryza was, as I recall. Maybe that's why there's a demo of this game. I guess I could say she's less provocative than Ryza was too. So I guess we're gonna be fine there. So I guess I can't break those boxes, so we'll just ignore that. Oh, there's also a sprint with the left stick. Crouching. There we go. We'll make it work. We're mostly 60. There are a couple of dips, I guess, when I was bouncing her off the walls. Seems fine. A couple of dips, but we're mostly at 60. Again, I had the frame rate set to 120, but the VSync is set to my monitor's display rate, which is 60 right now. I guess I will change it later. I'm only capturing at 60 anyway. Ready your gun so we can shoot obstacles. Got a gun. So we got a rifle and a staff. So we're like Sailor Moon and Sniper Wolf, huh? Actually, it's like a musket, right? Actually, well, it's not a musket, but it's like, it's not a sniper rifle technically. There we go. See? Wall jump. Whoa, careful. Okay, the navigational mesh is not allowing me to advance. On top of that, that's weird. Cute though, but weird. It's like I can't walk on that outcropping, huh? Hilarious. The Japanese voice acting, of course. This is another Gust game. I want to say Gust did all of the Atelier games, right? Like people talk about, we need to stop making these unsustainable AAA games. Well, Gust has been pumping these games out like every other year for like 2 decades. Like I think Gust was working on these games in the PS2 era, so they've been cranking these things out, dog. Phrasing, but I mean, it's like, if Gust has just been, and they've also done, like, they did like 2 Blue Reflection games, which I played on this channel. Now that game, Blue Reflection, I think I have Blue Reflection 2 over there. I have either Blue Reflection 1 or 2, and one of them is stupid expensive, and I don't know why. I mean, Blue Reflection seems okay. I mean, like, I'm not like Blue Reflection 1. I think is like what? It's like, yeah, it's like a ballerina, or it's like a dancer who twists her leg, but then she goes to an isekai world, and she's like Gem or Shira or something. I don't remember. Stop the fan's blades. Okay, shoot something. Well, solve the problem with guns. It's a video game after all. So this game looks decent on low. I mean, obviously, I've complained before about games like what was it? Forspoken, where everything on low looks terrible. We have free movement here. Wait, there's supposed to be a tutorial. Do I have to go back to the beginning and review the tutorial? Probably. So I guess I'm going to have to do that later. Well, this is a frame rate test. I'm going to have to do a real video later. So we're going to mash on the buttons. And below each button on the left-hand side, you can see all the pips that show how many times I can perform that action. But we're kind of spamming on action. We're kind of spamming on the attack buttons here. And we're roaming around we're roaming around in real time too. I want to say Atelier Ryza had a bit of a Super Mario RPG like button timings. Again, I haven't played. I don't remember much about those games. I mean, it's like there are games that I like, so I remember them, and there are games that I don't hate, but I guess they just weren't memorable. I don't remember Ryza 3 having very good dialogue though, so that doesn't help. It's supposed to be an ensemble. It's supposed to be an ensemble adventure show. But the vibe framing people. The vibe is supposed to be something like I think the vibe was something like yeah, it's like Sailor Moon, where it's like, yeah, I'm hanging out with my friends, and the whole point about Atelier Ryza is that it's like it's supposed to be like it's supposed to be like a chill hang, you know? Yeah, so you gotta whack that button so you can get the initiative in battle. So we're gonna mash on the X button. Hold on. Mash on the Y button. Stunned. So we can use what? X, Y, A, and B. But let me see if I can go to the tutorial so I can go over that part. That would be here, right? It would be in the guide. Yeah, you can shoot. Wall jump. Crouching. Okay, left. There we go. Tactics. Change tactics. Most questions are active. Photo mode, you can enter camera mode. We don't want to get this video demonetized. Place and compose your characters however you like. So she's. What happened to her jacket? Did she take off the jacket? Anyway, etc. So no actual combat explanations? Wait, no combat explanations? Pressing LB and RB, but they aren't available. Did I like miss the part where the combat's explained? Like, do I have to go back to the beginning? Because I mean, I remember there being like a prompt that explains how combat works in this game. I mean, I didn't die or anything, so I'm not worried about it. Oh, this can't be good. Okay. Yeah, this can't be good. She's wearing. Oh, sorry, wait. No, she's wearing heels. Does she have like potions in her heels like Ryza did? Because I want to say Atelier Ryza, because she's an alchemist, she had like a bunch of belts and crap. I think she was also, yeah, she has like test tubes in her shoes. That is a nice touch. I'll be the first to concede that. Spiral Rondo, pick a dude. In this kind of encounter, enemies not being considered KO to each foe's HP. Okay, sure, keep it right. Okay, whatever. So now they're going to explain defending and evading. Holding left trigger, guard at the right time. You can do a parry. Okay, like in Super Mario RPG. This isn't like Expedition 33, is it? When defending, pressing L will allow you to evade. Successful evasion will nullify the enemy's attack. Okay. Did I actually do anything? I don't remember if that actually worked. I guess it worked. I couldn't tell. A. AoE attacks. Get out of range before they activate enough to avoid them. Okay. Most enemies use AoE at the same time. Evading becomes more difficult. Try using the left to move out of harm's way. Okay. Okay, if there's enough time, try guarding or evading. Okay. A. Hey! A. Get out the way. Good. Trexo. Heads up. Is there an AoE attack? Okay, I guess I killed them all. Okay, I guess I thought I was supposed to attack one of them, but I don't know what just happened. I'm trying to keep track of everything that just happened there, but I mashed on the buttons and won. I'm also playing on the hard difficulty level, if that helps. But yeah, frame rate's holding up. Seems fine. We're mostly 60 the whole time. I'm not noticing any obvious dips that are annoying or frustrating, so that's good. It's the smell test. I'm just capturing the frame rate at the top left-hand corner of the screen so you can see where the dips are if they are occurring. Okay, combat. Here we go. Why couldn't I see this before? Okay, so I can. Okay, so running out, initialize combat. All enemies are in different areas. Your party members will be split between the areas to take on each monster one-on-one. Oh, okay, so those are split encounters. All enemies are in the same area. Your party will be able to hit enemies using AoE attacks, but enemies will be much more vicious. That was the fight we just did. So there are split encounters where if you isolate the enemies one by one, but if they're in a mob, then yeah, you're gonna have to do something. Okay, guard. I'll see if I have to guard. I might not have to. It depends on. Again, I'm playing the hard difficulty level, so maybe the game will actually fight back a little bit. Attack range. Somebody fortunate. Same area. Changing tactics. Well, I don't have to worry about that. That's fine. Slipping through and swinging at enemies to initiate combat. So I can't move. I can use the LB and RB buttons to advance those tabs. I'm not going to worry about it. So they try to do like a Persona 5 thing where the menus, like they zoom in on her. You have to do the Persona 5 thing where they swoop the camera around every time she goes to a different tab on the menu. So they're trying to make the menus more invigorating, I suppose. Like I said, it's a Persona 5 thing. Because that game made an impression because people were like, look how stylish the menu transitions are. Because it's not just, tabs in a window. It's like lots of swoops and swishes and lots of wipes and transitions between posing and like different like silhouettes in the background. Like different menus have different screen backgrounds and different themes. So it's like I guess it's the wet dream of like user interface dev. You know what I mean? Finally, it's their time to shine. Okay, we got one-on-one. Whack on the X. Dodge. Whack on B, I guess. Stunned him. That works. So battles take place in a small arena, but I mean, yeah. Whoop. And I didn't see that coming. Heads up. It didn't dodge that. So I shouldn't have mashed on the buttons. Like, I guess the idea is don't just mash on the buttons. Like, get in a couple of quick hits, wait for the enemy to attack, counter them, dodge it, and then counter. It's probably a better idea than just mashing on the buttons. Wait, where's my HP? It's top left-hand corner of the screen. Okay. Like I said, frame rate seems perfectly fine. So we'll probably have to do a longer video where I just kind of just stress test everything at a higher frame rate. I'll see if I can get 120. I'll test the frame rate at 120. I'm gonna have to change a few settings on this TV that I didn't want to change right away because I'm gonna play Skyrim later. So no reason for me to change the settings now. Because Skyrim's locked to 60, so there's no reason to play it 120. Out the way. Yeah, there's a recovery time after every move. So you don't want to mash on the buttons. Because eventually, if you do your combos, you're gonna sit there for a couple of seconds recovering, and that's when the enemy's gonna be able to counter you. So, hey, bro, out the way. I'm basically mashing buttons. I guess I'll play dumb to the game forces me to play smart. Like, am I getting like bonuses for beating enemies using certain combos? I don't know if it seems to matter. They haven't made that clear in the tutorial. Nothing to shoot here, right? Can I jump up here? Hold on, I might be able to get up here. Give me a second. So I can only do a double jump. I can only wall jump twice. Unlike Batman on the NES. Yeah, I can only wall jump twice. Okay. Good. Yeah, we're fine. I think I've already been this way. I need to pay attention to the map. Which is where exactly? I shot down the ladder. Oh, sorry. I'm not even paying attention to the. There's an objective marker there on the right-hand side of the screen. I'm not even paying attention to it. So I probably should have gone that way. Remember, I can sprint by just tapping the left stick. There's no stamina, so I should be fine. So this will probably be like a 20-minute video. Left trigger, right trigger. There we go. Just bad aim all around. How many bolts do I got? I don't see a need to reload. Oh well. Yeah, once I'm done with these, I mean, I rented a few games from the library. I didn't even get a chance to play them because I've been wasting my time trying to. I've been wasting my time trying to get these demos downloaded and testing them out on my laptop. And when they don't work on my laptop, I'm testing them out here. And I did buy a couple. Like, what games did I actually buy during the Steam sale? Like, I'll double check. I know I bought a couple. Like games that I knew ran on my that were games that I knew were laptop friendly, so I know I got them cheap, and I know that they run. That's why my Steam library is so massive. But as I play them, and I remember I played like 30 hours of Agents of Mayhem when I bought it last year just to make sure it could, because I knew it would run on this PC. And you gotta squeeze through tiny holes in these modern video games, huh? Gotta prefetch the next area, like in Jedi Survivor. So I think when that game launched, was it like the Xbox One version, where it was like you try to squeeze through a hole, but this game would crash? I guess the Respawn was, I guess, forced to turn that game around with a really tight deadline, so that wasn't great. That game's not coming out on the Switch too, is it? Heads up. You see, there's a recovery on that. Yeah, it's a pretty long recovery time on that. That's why you don't want to mash on the buttons too much. You might be stuck there. Take a shot to the face because you're recovering from all your flipping around. I do like how mobile she is. Rapido fire! Kind of extra, even though she's actually we're just mashing buttons here. Kind of extra. Suitably flashy, though. Pull! Okay. What are we... I think we're fine. We're just going... This is a tutorial area anyway with the Torador or whatnot. But yeah, by the way, when I was playing Stellar Blade a couple of days ago on this channel, well, I'm going to put up Stellar Blade eventually. But when you see the Stellar Blade video I put up, I was on the subreddit and I told him, hey, I'm getting 60 frames a second during this demo and on my low spec piece, on my below spec desktop. And someone said, look, the later levels are more open and the frame rate's going to dip. So I have to check with him and ask, okay, so if I can get 90 FPS out of this demo, do you think 60 FPS is doable for the later levels? So I hope they actually get around to actually answering that question, because I know a lot of people like to make comments like, yeah, the frame rate's going to dip later. I think Doom 2016 had that issue where it's like, yeah, the demo might be fine, but once you get to the later levels, it's going to really tank. So I guess it might be like a Ninja Gaiden 2 situation where it's like, yeah, you get to the stairs of Doom near the end of the game, and the frame rate just completely tanks on older consoles. How do I open the door? Okay. I'm open to ideas. There's nothing here I can climb, is there? Oh, I'm up. Wait! I'm not up. Okay. All right. Okay, is there a map? Let me check the menu because I'm hoping there's a map. Because I know there's a mini map. But is there like a a map that fills the screen. Okay, so there's no like lock I can blow off. So I want to see if they explain this quest. Open the door and keep going. Okay. Okay, I'm tracking it, but I don't. Okay, but is there another lever I need to pull? Yes, is there another lever I need to pull? Yeah, where's the lever? Assuming there's a lever here. Is it on the other side? Well, I can't get to the other side. Um, okay, so I pulled the lever. Is there another lever here? I might just have to end the video, but yeah, you got to see how you got to see how the frame rate operates, so you'll be fine. Yeah, is there another lever around here? Because I pulled that one already. I mean, I guess I'll look around for a second, but I don't see any other levers. Unless I missed something bone-crushingly obvious. Oh, can I go up? Give me a second. Not that way. Nope. Yeah, can I go up? Yes, this is just, I mean, again, this just seems like a double-A game. But I'm fine with that at this point. Like, I don't need it to be a triple A, like a double A game like this. That, again, I don't think this game is locked at 1080p, but it's running well. It looks decent on low settings. So I guess this is the double A game people were talking about back in the day. They were worried, hey, what happened to all the double A? Well, there are plenty of them. You have to go down the indie road, I suppose. This isn't indie. I mean, they have like 20 of these at Atelier Games. So again, if there's another lever here, I don't know where it is. So I recorded this with my Plantronics headset plugged into the Windows 10 Education laptop. The camera app's capturing this footage at 60 frames a second. Can I climb up here? Yeah, so it's capturing this footage at 60 frames a second at 1080p, which matches the resolution of this game. So I'll tell you what, like I said, I was going to do some quick setting tests to see if I can make the game look a bit better. Let me check. Full screen. Texture quality, standard. Don't need shadow, don't need reflections. Depth of field, low, standard. Okay, we can go low on that. Well, it's on Steam. We'll keep that as is. I don't need ambient inclusion, honestly. We can increase the draw distance. Motion blur has been off. Animation distance. Volumetric fog. Terrain quality can be standard. Dynamic res is on. So it should be fun. I mean, okay, so it looks a little bit better. It's a bit more detail. I mean, yet it's still like this still looks like a PS4 game. I guess you could say it looks like a prettied up PS2 game, slightly better models. Honestly, like I mean, yes, it's obviously a PS5 game, but this game probably runs on a Switch, a Switch One and a Switch Two. So this is arguably this is the platonic ideal of the. Is this the platonic ideal of the modern video game? Like a bunch of games that look like this. I'm not complaining as long as the games are affordable and provide decent content. You know what I mean? Yeah, the game is telling me to go this way. But I can't go through the door. So I have to end the video. Again, this is a GeForce 3050 with 6 gigabytes, 6 gigabyte GPU, but more importantly, it is a, like I said, it's 12 gigabytes of RAM are inside. I don't know how they want me to go through this door. Is this thing just broken? Like, did I crash the game? Maybe I shouldn't have set the game on hard mode. You open the door. How do I open the door? I don't see any lever I can pull. I don't see anything I can shoot. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, for crying out! Ugh! Boy, I tell you. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to cut that from the video. There's an event log. That's nice. Yeah, somebody's gonna end the video here. One more tutorial, huh? Inner range and the outer range. Press left. Is that left? Is that the D-pad, left or right? Down. Changes the character skills. Okay, so you can oh, okay, so I have to use my gun from here. Okay, so I press down the D-pad to switch ranges. Okay, that's cool. Matches the skill symbol. Try to bring the total. Okay, so I have all three of my attacks match that symbol above that dude's head. See the left side of the screen, those green icons? Okay. Okay, it's a stun. So we can press up to get back into melee range. Not here. Dodge. Dot down. Because he rebuilt himself. Dodge. Dodge. Up. Yeah, none of these symbols match his symbol. Got him. All right. So that seems kind of interesting. Yeah, that seems kind of interesting. So where do I pause the game? I think we're auto-saving. Because I didn't see a save spot. The game might be auto-saving. But yeah, I can play this game at a higher frame rate and see higher set. If I can play at a higher resolution with a higher frame rate, that's good. But yeah, I know this thing runs extremely well on this computer, so that was the ideal. That's the idea. I mean, what is it? Steam. Valve said they're putting out those Steam machines later. I think it's like next year or something, or maybe later this year. I don't know. We don't even know how much they're gonna cost. But they have 16 gigs of RAM in there, and there's no GPU. So I'm not opposed to putting 16 gigs of RAM in this rig right here. I was just hoping I can get by on 8. But yeah, RAM's cheap enough that it's not a bad idea for me to get all my... It's not bad for me to get all my computers back up to 12 gigs of RAM now. Well, I have an extra stick I need to put in here. But I got 12 on my Radeon 550 because I had 8 in there. And I got 12 in this one. So I might be able to do some jiggling. I mean, it's hard to find a single stick of RAM these days, but I guess I'm willing to get a a larger stick of RAM just to make sure it posts. Because for me, I just want the extra RAM. I don't care if the speed doesn't match. There's no way he'll just meekly nod. What else could it be, I suppose? I am curious how much content is in this demo. I mean, if it were just this tutorial and maybe like a tease of the next town, that might be okay. But yeah, this game might be all right. I mean, I'm not gonna spend like $50 on it or anything, but it might be all right. Like I said, it sounds like a rental, but no rush. Like I said, I have like at least 2 other Atelier games in my collection I could be playing at this point. And I can also rent. I can also rent Atelier Ryza from the library. It was Atelier Ryza 2 and 3. I remember I played 3 on this channel earlier, and it's really ugly on the Switch. Like just really friggin' ugly. Oh well, she's not dead. So that'll be my excuse to end the video. So yeah, it held up. I didn't feel any serious problems, but this isn't a game that needs to be 60 frames a second, honestly. So I think if I could run this on a laptop, that'd be great. But I think the game just pitched a fit. Yeah, I'm only using 5 gigs of RAM, so why is it pitching a fit if I playing it on a laptop with 8 gigs of RAM? I mean, it might just need yeah. Okay, that's the problem. It's using 5 gigs of RAM, but the GPU is using 5 gigs all by itself, so it's probably pitching a fit because it needs a GPU. But so like yeah, five. This game shouldn't need more than 4, but I did. Yeah, I'll double check the video because earlier in the video you saw what my GPU usage was when I was playing on lower detail settings. So I guess playing on lower detail settings means I can probably. I don't know if I can get the GPU. Well, remember my Radeon 550 only has 2 gigs of RAM, I think, 4 at most. So a 2 gigabyte GPU might not be enough to run this game well. But if I can lock it to 30 frames a second, that would be fine. So I'm gonna have to do a different test later. You also I'm gonna have to update the Reddit post that I made on the low end PC gamers because I got a. Well, I mean, obviously there are plenty of demos to download, but the whole point was to provide like a list of like different tiers of games you could try. So this would be like a modern game, but it's not. It's not a triple. It's not a modern AAA game like a Tekken 8 or a Forspoken, because those games are pretty demanding. In fact, I think right now, dude, what's the most demanding demo on PC right now? Because Forspoken's pretty beat. Yeah, Final Fantasy 16 is really rough. I can't get 60 out of this rig using playing that game. So Final Fantasy 16 might be the stress test. If your PC can run Final Fantasy 16 at 30 frames a second, you'll probably be okay for a lot of games if you're willing to play at 720p. But yeah, 60, you're gonna need way more horsepower to get 16 FPS out of that game. Framing. Yeah, I think Final Fantasy 16 might be the toughest one. But there are a bunch of laptop-friendly demos out there. Like I played like Ball X Pit runs on laptops. Maze Mice is a cool little Pac-Man like game. It's like basically it's like what if combine Pac-Man with like Vampire Survivors and Super Hot because the enemies only move when you move. So 30 FPS is perfect. 20 FPS I would argue would be fine for a game like Maze Mice. I have the demo. I don't. I wasn't, but it's not DRM. I think it might be DRM free. So I gotta test it. I have a couple of weak laptops here. I gotta. Yeah, this laptop is like a budget laptop. I got a budget Windows 11 laptop. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think this game running at 30 on a, if you can get this game running on a laptop, 30 FPS would be fine. If you have an older desktop, I'll bust out the Radeon 1030 and see if it runs on that. Can't make any promises, but I think I have a couple of 4 GB cards lying around. Again, like 30 frames a second sounds fine for a game like this, because it's turn-based mostly. Like it's a hybrid, but it's definitely not an action game. It's mainly about mashing out the buttons. Um, Miyamoto will remember this choice. So I guess one's just more formal. Oh, so it didn't matter what I chose. She corrected herself anyway. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, I'm fine. This game runs fine. So I'm glad to report that. So what was one other game I need to test? Yeah, Daemon X, was it Daemon X Machina? The Daemon X Machina, the Titanic Scion game. There's a demo of that that's running at triple-digit frame rates on this laptop. So I'll see on this desktop. Sorry. So I'll double check and see if I can get 120 FPS out of that game. Well, I'm getting it, but it's in a confined area. But we'll do a video of that later, most likely over the weekend. Lower priority on that. But once I test all of these demos, I have to test this TV's ability to play retro games. 2D games mostly. I'll break out the. Do I have Ninja Saviors over there? I'll pull out Super Turrican, the Turrican Anthology, see how it looks on this OLED. I got a PS3 here. I'll pull that out. But yeah, PS3. I could definitely try. But unfortunately, this TV only has HDMI inputs. So that means I'm gonna have to get fancy with the older consoles. Because I have a DVD recorder, so I can plug in the Super Nintendo and the Genesis into the DVD recorder, put it under the TV, and see if I can get a decent 1080p picture out of it. I want to say the 1080p on that device is pretty noisy. Um, RF interference, I would argue, but we'll see what's up. Okay. So we'll test out the rest of this. Yeah, now the frame rate's dipping. Okay. We might have to do a separate video later where I see how this holds up. Huh. So maybe I just had to load the assets because it's not holding 60 anymore. So I guess we'll have to tease the next video. Lower all the settings again. Inside that confined area, it was fine. But again, I think a game like this running at 30 would be fine. So that's fine. Turn the VSync off for now, for funsies. Low everything. 120, low everything. No anti-aliasing, depth of field, low. I don't know why they have that on standard. We don't have that. Turn that off. Yeah, there's no reason to use XeLSS to turn the dynamic resolution on. Forgot to save the settings. Sorry. Low, DOF low. Low. Dynamic resolution on. Alright. And we'll save this. Because I didn't do a manual save yet. We got one now in a more open area. It doesn't look as good as the open area. So yeah, we're still... So 1080p with dynamic resolution scaling can hold 60. And I had the VSync on too. So that's going to be the test. How do I deal with this open area? Well, I guess I probably should have led with this. So we'll do a separate video later where I can see how it performs in an open-ish area. But yeah, I think as long as we're way over 30, we're fine. We have plenty of headroom. Ladder. Oh, yeah, I'm not trying to go up. I'm trying to go up. Okay. So we'll see how it goes later. But yeah, if I can't hold 60, then I'll just go for 30. But this looks close enough to 60 that's not going to be a problem. I guess they kind of teased me a bit by showing me that tiny confined area. Yeah, they teased me. They teased it a little bit by showing this tiny confined area, and then all of a sudden they put me in the open world and everything. And all of a sudden the frame rate starts to dip, like a lot. So maybe I might have to go. I'm doing dynamic resolution scaling. So does that mean I have to go all the way down to 720 to see if I can lock it down? Yeah, 1980 with dynamic resolution scaling. Yeah, and everything's low. Didn't turn on the motion, but I guess I can use motion blur to clean. Maybe I can try some motion blur to try and clean it up. Yeah, that motion blur. Yeah, it makes it look less choppy. Yeah, it's a little less choppy. It's not per. I doubt it's per pixel motion blur. Like whatever Insomnia does is apparently good motion blur. This isn't on that level, but it kind of helps smooth things a little bit, I guess. That's cool. But yeah, it does the job. Ligneous. Ligneous rock. So yeah, we'll come back later, see if I can lock this. I guess what I'll do is I'll crank some of the settings up, see if I can lock it to 30. So I'll tease that here before I end the video. I keep this. I'm like a Baptist preacher. I got to stop 5 times. Yeah, we'll probably do a real video where I do a stress test later. So we can go. I have VSync on, so that's fine. Texture. Oh, I said texture quality was. I thought I had texture quality on low. We'll see if that helps. Because the GPU is still at 5.3 gigs on the VRAM usage. Kind of surprised it's not using more RAM. Yeah, we're still below. We're still dipping under 60. But the low texture quality, I guess, kind of keeps things closer to 60, I guess. But yeah, if I can't get 120, there's no reason to try and force the issue. Yeah, GPU is maxed out. Yeah, so not locked 60, but still a good 60. So I'll see if I can get 30 before we end the video. 1080p with some settings higher, I guess. No anti-aliasing. What could possibly go wrong? FXAA is fine. Gonna blur things a bit. Motion blur is on. Keep the shadow straw distance close. Turn the fog off. LOD doesn't. Keep the LOD close. Terrain quality. Make things look. We'll be nearsighted. Make everything look good up close. Grass density doesn't have to be that high. Draw distance can be close. So we'll make everything look better. We just don't need to turn up the settings that much. Shadow quality can be low. Local reflections low. Can we turn them off now? Effect quality low. So high textures then. So still not at 30. So we got high textures, not using more VRAM. GPU's maxed out, CPU's maxed out. Still close to 60, honestly. So we have better texture quality. We have the dynamic resolution scaling on, so that seems to be helping. So if I wanted to lock it down to 30, I could probably raise the resolution pretty significantly and get the frame rate down to 30, but locked. Motion blur's on, terrain quality's on. Yeah. So we can't get 60, but this is a better looking 60 than we were trying to force earlier. It's a better looking 58 than we were getting earlier. So yeah, that's actually not terrible. We'll probably stress it out later. We'll push it. We'll push it harder a bit later. Let me at least go to the title screens before we end the video. Okay, Atelier Ryza, recorded with the Plantronics headset on the Geforce 3050 with 12 gigs of RAM and a 6 gigabyte GPU. Quad core CPU, I want to say. 4 threads. Using the Windows 10 Education app, Windows 10 Education PC to record this footage at 1080p 60.